travel back home because things had changed a lot. So we agreed that he travels to Kenya, which he did, and we had a lot of contacts during the first months that he was there, because there was a lot going on during the 2002 the multi-party elections. Just as Dr. Wariara mentioned, he was very instrumental in most of the decisions that were made at that time. In fact, he was working in many other projects that were given to him by the party, ODM, or privately by different candidates to perform, which he did exemplarily. It went on like that, and it came to pass also that to make sure that Patrick is a wonderful person, my daughter, my first daughter, also decided, like Patrick, that she had finished her studies here. She got her master's in engineering. She told me, "Daddy, I don't want to be here. I want to go and work in Kenya." She started saying that when she was 16 anyway, so it was not a surprise to me. So I told her, "Okay, you have said this since you were just a young lady. But if you feel strongly that you want to go, then it is okay. After all, Patrick is there, my brothers are there, and the other friends are also there." So she went, and she was in Nairobi while she was still looking for a job. We had not organized anything for her because I didn't take her seriously that she would be going to Kenya in the first place. Anyway, she had said something like that, but I didn't believe her. So she went there, and I called Patrick, and I told her that Nancy has come to Kenya. She's looking for a job. And he asked me to call Nancy and tell Nancy to contact him. So I told Nancy to contact Patrick. And they met. And from that day, during the time when Nancy was still in Nairobi, Patrick used to meet her to give her money for transport, to buy her lunch with her friends, which she appreciates until today. So that is the kind of man Patrick was. When I used to travel to Kenya, I used to call Patrick and tell him, "Patrick, I'm on my way coming. Can you book me a hotel? I'm living here around. I'm arriving by 8 at night. I have nowhere to sleep." He would prepare a hotel for me and means to take me to the hotel. One day we traveled and we went through Kigali, and the flight reached very late. So by the time I reached there, the airport in Kenya, Patrick had already left. I didn't have his number. I called him that night, Mrs. Ukwapo, and asked him if she had Patrick's number, and she said she had. She gave me the number. I called Patrick. I was already asleep, but he woke up and told me that, "Jack, I've waited for you there for a very long time." I said, "Yes, we came late." Then he told me, "Just take a taxi if you can get it, and go to Spring Valley Hotel. That is where your hotel is, your room is." So we took a taxi to Spring Valley Hotel. I introduced myself, and the hotel was booked. So at the same time, I told him that the following day, I wanted to travel to Kisumu in by private means. I had luggage and the children. My youngest son was only 10 months, so I didn't want to go through the process of taking a matatu or a kamba, which will take a long time. I wanted a little bit of comfort. So he prepared these were Pepsi cars. In the morning, I was woken up that your taxi is outside. So I took that, and they took me to Kisumu and up to Asembo. So, and then we agreed with Paddy when we were supposed to meet. So he has been a very good friend of mine, and I used to talk to him almost all the time. There has been a misconception that I must clear. I talked even with his family, the brothers and the brother and the sisters. There's been a perception that Patrick had been abandoned by his friends in Kenya and the relatives in Kenya. That was not true, because all the time Patrick had been in Kenya, he had been assisted by his friend, the present Prime Minister. He has never had he has never had a job as we people work as normal persons. So he has been getting something from the friends, political friends, to sustain him. By the time this thing was happening, in fact long before, Paddy had just landed, he just got a job with the environment, which he called me, sent me an email and told me to call him. So I called him and he told me that yesterday I was in the office, in the Prime Minister's office, and I talked to Raila, and Anyang' was also there, and other people. He was among some of the people who were supposed to form a secretariat and start to work with the environment. That week or 2 weeks after, he was supposed to be traveling to Geneva for a conference. So he told me that when he left Geneva, he wanted to pass through Stockholm and say hi to his boys. Then I told him, okay, when you are traveling to Geneva, when you know the date, let me know so that I also can come to Stockholm so that we can meet. I think I told other people, I informed Odada and I informed Dr. Warriero about this, that Patrick will be going to Geneva and he might pass here to say hi to his sons. So as we were waiting, it looks like he became worse and was admitted. So I got the information that he was sick, then I called. It was the first time he was sick and was admitted at Kenyatta. He was there for about 2 weeks. Then he was released. He became well. After about 11 days again, he was readmitted. So this spoiled his chances of taking that post in the Geneva group. So I used to call him and talk to him, and it was okay until the day when we saw in the blog, Stockholm's blog, that he was in a coma. It had taken about some days before I talked to him, so when I read it in the blog, then I asked, what is this? Then I called his number and I talked to his sister, who had the number at that time, Margaret Akin. And she told me that yes, Patrick is in the hospital, but he's not in a coma. For me to be convinced that Patrick was not in a coma, I asked him if I could speak to him. And then she told me that he's very tired because the medicines he's using are very strong at the moment. So I don't think he can talk to you today. Then I told her, okay, ask him, tell him that I called, and if it's okay, then you can just flash me, then I can call and talk to him. The following day I waited, it didn't happen. So I called 2 days after, and she told me that, oh yeah, I'm just on the way to the hospital. Call me after 3 hours.